Hello, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So, we designed some ships at the end of the last episode. The Württemberg class fast battleship and the Kaiserin Augusta class heavy cruiser. And we started building quite a few of them. Although, as you can see, most of them are now suspended because we just don't have the shipbuilding capacity. But what I think I'm gonna do is let's find the there they are. They're gonna be finished in a year, Brunhilde and Barbarossa. Big super battleships. So we're gonna suspend those for at least a couple of turns until all of these refits and some repairs are finished, and that will free up some shipyard capacity. We're also building some ships for other nations. So we now have 240,000 tons of free capacity. So let's see. The battleship's being built in Hamburg. We can resume construction on those. And yeah, we are just under capacity. So that's fine. Because those need to be 29 months plus another, I don't know, like 3 months for commissioning. That's almost 3 years. So that's gonna be just at the end of the campaign. Unless I get a little bit cheeky and I speed up the construction by editing the save file, just so they can actually make it in time to see some action, so you guys can actually see them in action. Yeah, it really kind of effed me over when they changed how shipbuilding capacity is calculated in one of those patches, because I was up to over a million, 1.2 million I think, and then it was reduced down to 600,000, and I've been climbing up, and if that calculation hadn't changed, I'm pretty sure I would be close to 2 million tons of shipbuilding capacity, but that's not the case. I still want to design some more though. Might not make it in time for the end of the campaign. And in fact, I can't even start constructing this until at least in a couple of months. But yeah, let's build my other idea for a battleship, and I was gonna call it the Wörth. It's meant to be. It's meant to be. Clearly, it's meant to be. 32 knots. We get these towers, which is fine. We're gonna make this kind of a fast battleship kind of ship. We can actually fit the big Uber funnels on both of those towers. That is very nice. 250%. That's without changing anything. So I might actually go with this secondary tower, which I just think looks a little bit better. How much can I reduce the beam? Minus 4%. Let's say that's enough. I can probably reduce it even more, but that's pretty nice. And can I then make it faster? I can make it faster. So this is actually going to be faster than my battle cruisers. And we're gonna do double 16s, which is just a gun caliber that I like. Is that gonna look wonky on that barbette? A little bit. Let's find a bigger one. So I have to go with a big one. Looks a little bit better. That's almost a bit too tall to look good. How about just a standard barbette? Let's go with the big one. I think it looked better. Or what about enlarged? Enlarged was actually taller than the big barbette. Now let's just kind of balance it out. Or at least attempt to make it a bit balanced. If I go with the other secondary tower, that's a lot smaller, but can it? No. That's not an option. It doesn't fit the turret I want. Oop. There we go. Close enough for now. Let's increase the range. Add on my my usual stuff. Might even go with anti-torp 4 if I have the displacement for it after all the necessities have been added. Increased ammo because I keep running out. Flash fire chance. Flash fire chance is still 0. What kind of range do we have? 49 kilometers. That's very, very good. Coincidence, sonar, RDF, Gen 3 radar, and we actually still have some capacity to spare, even after going with anti-torp 4. Of course, we got to play with the armor. Let's go 17. Let's go 16 on the main belt, 6 and 6 on the fore and aft belt. 9 is fine for the main deck, actually. Because remember, the main deck is gonna have multiple layers below it. We're getting close. Getting very close. These are 53s. I think it's 4 to make them 55s. Yep. Because that's a rounder number. I don't want to touch the beam because the engine efficiency is like just right. The 4.5s don't fit. On the like the built-in positions there, but they fit here, which is fine. Yeah, there's room to adjust the placement of the funnel. That's a 4-weight offset. Come on, let's just find that. Yeah, 0.1. That's 0.9. And we're gonna add some 3-inch secondaries on there. And just a couple of 2-inch to round it all off. Okay. Aft weight offset, 0.1%. Now, these have to be 4.5s so I can actually armor them. And they should be 50s. Yeah, there we go. So they actually have some range. Aft weight offset. I can remove that. Place that there. There we go. Adjust the funnel a bit. Now let's just conning tower should also be 16. Find some weight to shed. I don't really want to go it's -2% hull weight. That's fine. That increased my flash fire chance, which is not ideal. Increased HE on the secondaries. That did shed some weight, but not a lot. Communications range. I mean, you get the flagship communication bonus and all that stuff, so it's nice to have. Pretty much. Now we can make it 5.5 on the 4.5 belt. That did remove some weight. I guess we can make it 2.9 on the superstructure. It's not a big difference, but there we go. 8 tons under, and we have anti-torp 4. Wörth class. Is it worth it? I hope so. It's a good looking ship. Looks a lot like the König class, which is well, not surprising. It's built on the same hull, with the same guns and the same towers. It's got maybe a little bit less secondary firepower, but it's a bit faster. So, and there we go. Save design. What's the build time on one of these? 28 months. Not too bad, not too bad. Range is 44.5. Range on these it's actually a bit less. Okay. So here's the plan, I think. I've got quite a few fast battlecruisers in the Atlantic now, and moving around in the Mediterranean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel the 2 Württemberg class being built in Haichau, and I'm going to build 2 Wörth class instead. Because the Pacific needs some battle cruisers. So we're going to build 2 Wörth class. Replacing the Schleswig-Holstein and Westfalen. Wörth and Wettin. It's almost matching names. That's kind of cool. Haichau will be your name. Your home, I mean. And these 2 will be just suspended or actually scrapped. Let's just scrap them. Right. Alright. So we are now quite a bit under limit again. Almost 20 tons. 20,000 tons. Great. Now let's play that convoy battle. We're defending a convoy of 6 transports. We got the Venezuelan DD helping out the Freya versus a Tuscaloosa and an Atlanta class. So basically the DD is gonna be dead if it even gets close to either of those light cruisers. But the Freya should be able to take them on at range. In fact, Mr. Venezuelan DD, which well, you have no home anymore. Because Venezuela has kind of been taken over by the United States. Which happened after I sold them a bunch of DDs. So you see the DDs pop in to my battle sometimes to help me. As recognized by the V and the ZV. But they have no home anymore. So I'm kind of wondering how they're getting resupplied. Oh, the enemy's on low fuel. Both of them. It is my lucky day. That makes this so much easier. That means they're gonna be moving slowly. And a slow ship is much easier to hit. And these light cruisers have, at least the Atlanta class, very little armor. I think it is like 2 inches on the main belt. Which, with the armor quality edition, maybe not at very long range, but at closer ranges I can actually pen them with HE. Of course I can't see them. Because they're hiding in smoke. And the Freya, being an older Cormoran class, doesn't have amazing tower spotting. But they're still good enough that I don't feel I need to refit them. Yeah, you got the torpedoes. That's the Tuscaloosa class. That means the Atlanta class is the lead ship, because the Atlantas do not carry torpedoes. Let's go down to cruise speed. Not a whole lot of damage yet. There we go, flooding. Yeah, the Tuscaloosa has still not a lot of armor, but a bit more than the Atlanta. Enough that I get a lot of partial pens at this range. Almost 18 kilometers. Hiding in their little smoke clouds. Quite annoying. There you go. That's the big flooding hits I was looking for. The Tuscaloosa's are actually quite a bit cheaper than the Atlantas. But against anything other than DDs and my own light cruisers, I do consider them more dangerous. Just because of all of these torpedoes. Are these fast torpedoes? No, they can't be. Not with 18.6 kilometer range. Or and Atlanta has opened fire. Let's just finish off the Vicksburg. And switch attention. Okay, I actually have to open up range a bit more because I'm being eaten alive. To 5% crew losses already. There we go, torpedoes. Look at this frigging hail of fire. %10 crew losses. Just for spending a couple of seconds within the range of the Badger. You're gonna sink soon, Vicksburg. Need a couple of central flooding hits. Like that. That should do it. Now, Badger. I think you're cool with those little 5.4 inch guns. Too bad you don't have the range. Too bad you don't have the armor. Too bad you don't have the fuel to run away. They're running at 14 knots. So yeah, these cruisers, the Atlanta class, they hard counter my own light cruisers and certainly my DDs, but they die pretty easily to most other ships because, well, they don't have the range and they don't have the armor. We're gonna start hitting soon. some more flooding hits. Let's oh, that's actually a big hit. Let's try HE. See if we can reliably pen this guy. I think AP was actually better. Like, yeah, closer in, my HE would go through pretty much anywhere. But I don't really feel like being closer in to that ship. Let's go back to auto. Yeah. The ship's AI selects AP, and I can see why. There we go, more flooding. They do have maximum bulkheads though. And Gen 3 radar, so and what I assume is a pretty advanced main tower. So I'm fairly certain they're gonna outspot most of my ships. And I lost my target bonus because they went invisible for a little while. Let's go to HE now that we're chasing. The two aft turrets are actually taken out, so if we're coming in straight from behind, they can't actually fire at me. Let's get this as the thumbnail. Maybe just let it not look like the waves are trying to swallow it whole. It's a pretty cool look, I think, like this, with the sun in the background. Let's just follow it for the cinematic. It's a little bit scorched. Oh, something took a big hit there. Yeah, there it goes. Sinks. Not bad, but 101 sailors lost just for spending a couple of seconds within within the range of that ship. All right. So let's go to December, I think. Nothing more to do here now. Okay. United States Revolution. They don't trust Albert Brumby due to his low naval prestige. Alright. The government has been overthrown, but we're still at war. Cameron Kalbfuss. Okay. Submarine. Submarines. Submarines, do not sink my ships. Thank you. And a battle. Viva, San Jose class. Battlecruiser. Tunisian. Okay, we got the Ostpreußen. And we got the Egyptian Deutschland class heavy cruisers, Ra and Isis, as the god, not the terrorist group. The Greek Deutschland class heavy cruiser Medusa, and some other trash they've got left over from previous alliances. 23 knot light cruiser. This has got to be like really ancient trireme kind of ship. Nasser, that's a Lübeck class. Okay, okay. I think we can take this. San Jose, I wonder if it's actually a good ship. Let's find out. Alright. Let's get my stuff organized. Viva. That is surprisingly not terrible. Just looking at it, it almost looks like it could have been a human designed ship. I don't think it's one of the shared design ships though. Because I would never have taken the bother of making these 7.6 instead of just 7. Mark III 14s. That's not terrible. Oof, okay. Armor is kind of terrible. It's got a Gen 1 radar. Turbo electric drive, that's why it's kind of expensive for what it is. It's not slow. It's not bad. It even has like half decent okay range. Yeah, you can be in the division with Ostpreußen. You are a decent ship. Ternitz. You are not a decent ship. What are you doing in this century? You should probably not be here. Nassau, Schwalbe. They had one. There we go. Sankt Georg. Yeah, you also belong in a different age. Please go be somewhere else. Now, all of these heavy cruisers are actually my designs that I've sold them. These are all Deutschland class. So, they're pretty good. You can follow. Nasser and Schwalbe. Yeah, you have just received your refit, Schwalbe. That's pretty cool. By the way, you can speed up because I removed that piece of junk from your squadron. Actually, I should remove this too. You are not very good. Lübeck class was one of the ship classes that I designed and then realized that this is not very good. The constraints I had to work within were just not good enough. Is that it? I think so. Yeah, let's I'm not sure if the design process was actually in an episode I uploaded, but it's designed on the I forget, I think it's Light Cruiser 4, the name of this hull, and it's one of those hulls that just exploded into super expensive, super heavy territory the moment I went over 30 knots, so that's why it's kind of slow. And also it doesn't have a lot of armor because it's designed a while ago. The torpedoes are not amazing. The tower spotting is not good. It's just it never became what I wanted it to be, and that's why I didn't build any for myself. But some of my allies apparently like the look of them, so. And yeah, why is it called the Nasser when he was president in Egypt way after the time period of this game? Well, I just ran out of Egyptian names. It's that easy. So Schwalbe can be my scout with her Generation 3 radar after the refit. Viva actually has the heaviest guns in this entire lineup, but they are only Mark III. Two powder 1, TNT 2. That's actually pretty good. That means it will not explode. Like, both of those have very good anti-flash fire properties. Like, if the Nasser had been made today, like in game and not in real life, I could actually have given it oxygen torpedoes, and it would be a pretty dangerous torpedo cruiser. But as it is now, with 9-point-something kilometer torpedoes, it's just never gonna get close enough to launch before it sinks. So yeah, we're not quite in range. As you can see, Schwalbe is spotting all of them. There we go. Ostpreußen is firing. Viva does not have the range. They are actually spotting the Schwalbe. Whether these two light cruisers or DDs? I think they're DDs. So Schwalbe is gonna go hunting. They're firing at 30 kilometers, so Viva is not in range. Oh, weather. That means you're not gonna go destroyer hunting, because I will not be able to spot those torpedoes. We're scoring partial pens on that battleship. Just not very effective. Oh yeah, they've got electric torpedoes. Could actually be useful. Ooh, we got flash fire on the enemy battleship. Very nice. Viva has commenced firing. Can we actually sink that battleship? Or my torpedo range is 13.4. But yeah, with low visibility torpedoes, there we go. Torpedoes have been launched towards Schwalbe. These are light cruisers. There we go, torpedoes out from both sides. Bravo sinks. Need my heavy cruisers to target their light cruisers. might actually be able to sink the Carl. That would be pretty nice. What kind of pen do you have, Viva? Not bad. You are firing at 20 kilometers, where you have a pen of 23.8. Also poison. A little bit less. Has to be expected from smaller guns. And unsurprisingly, none of my torpedoes hit. These carrying low visibility torpedoes. You are. Carl might sink. Which would certainly be nice if it happened. Bludens is not looking too good. Having the undivided attention of 3 Deutschland class. That's another Schwalbe. That's not my Schwalbe. It's evil twin. Comet. Viva actually took a pretty big hit. Should I ignore the battleship for now with my battlecruisers? Because they can't really pen its main belt at this range anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna. And when the other ships are dead, I'm gonna try and get closer with the Schwalbe, my Schwalbe, and get some torpedoes on target. There we go. Ostpoison has done most of the damage. Viva has done some. Please don't switch back to the battleship. I've got a plan for the battleship. Yeah, my 12-inch guns are just big enough that they absolutely demolish these light cruisers. But they are small enough that they reload quickly. Ah, better. Much better. Okay, Schwalbe. Full speed. Have you launched, or did our torpedoes explode? Poison has run out of AP. Okay. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have sent my DDs home. They would have actually been pretty nice to have for hunting down that battleship. Torpedo detonation. That's what I like to see. Yeah, you're not allowed to use that name. You're not worthy. Oh, you just focused that guy. Now, what are these? Are they the DDs? They are. Now this is a Kloster Neuburg class heavy cruiser. You can tell by the way that it is, and also by the way that it's not dead yet. Because that ship class actually has decent armor. But not decent enough to stand up to all of that. Carl is 26 kilometers out. I don't think it's going very fast, no. 19.3 knots. Which is actually impressive considering the amount of flooding it's taken. What kind of HE range do you have? 28 kilometers? You should be getting in HE range now. So, I don't know, might see them switch. Yeah, Lost Poison is almost completely out. Everything. There we go, Viva is firing. I'm guessing she can actually... what's your deck pen at maximum range? 27 inches. What's your deck armor? It should be doable. Yeah, that's right. The Austrian battleships carry torpedoes. Well, it did. And it still does. They didn't all explode. 23-kilometer torpedoes. Mine are only 13.4 kilometer, which is actually in range. But yeah, just gotta factor in that it's sailing away. But my special trick is that these are electric torpedoes. So the enemy might not spot them until it's too late. Let's see how close I get before it launches. Let's pop the smoke. I don't need the Schwalbe to be the one spotting anyway. How slow are they? 40 knots. Now torpedoes out from one side. Torpedoes out from both sides. Now we're just sailing away. But we fired from a chase though, which is not ideal. Detected enemy torpedoes. Oh, one of them is gonna hit. Torpedo hit flooding. I think it only hit an already flooded section though. It didn't really help. Yeah, also poison is completely out. Get some more angles. I want to sink this battleship. All of you load HE. Which you should have done a long time ago. There we go, it's flooding. Can we get the DDs too? I wasn't actually planning on chasing them. I was gonna allow them to get away, but they're this close anyway. Whoop. Whoopa. Viva. You did not eat the torpedo. Very good. You might be a Tunisian ship, but you're not a half bad Tunisian ship. I won't let you live. There we go. Flooding hits on a DD. They're actually coming in. they're actually intending to fight. Electric torpedoes. 15 kilometers. Okay, now the Ostpoison has decided to follow the Viva. That's okay. Ostpoison doesn't have any ammo anyway. Doesn't really matter what she does. Ooh, you are dead. I was just about to say keep an eye on their torpedo launch, but that's one DD that will not get to launch torpedoes. One funnel taken out. They're not that fast. 34 knots. Well, it's a lot slower now. Can we get another hit? Can we get another hit that does a little bit more than that? Now that it's dead in the water. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah. Not bad. Viva. It's like, yeah, it pales in comparison to the Ostpoison and the Ra, the Isis, and Medusa. But overall, it's not a terrible ship. It would have made the guns a little bit longer, so it had at least 30-kilometer range, and given it some actual armor. But overall, I did not hate it. I didn't actually check what kind of weight offset it had. It was probably quite bad, because that's the way the AI tends to build ships. Okay, but that battle turned out to be a bit longer than I thought it would be. So we're gonna end the episode here. Adria class battlecruiser. I've seen those before. Fine. I think I've seen in a couple of episodes ago. I think I was lent an Adria class battleship by battlecruiser by the Greeks, which they'd obviously bought from Austria-Hungary, which used to be their ally. I'm pretty sure it's quite an old design, so I don't know why the Austrians are rolling around with one suddenly. Because it can't be like an actual old ship, because I've sunk their entire navy a couple of times since this was probably new. That's kind of strange. Anyway, that's for the next time, because this episode is over. It is certainly not, with 28.1 knots, it's certainly not outrunning the Merkatz class. It has more than 10 knots on it. It's not even outrunning its battleship. Yeah, that's gonna be not a fast battle. I'm pretty sure. Goodbye, and take care.